Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel, and positive news to start the week off that De Ligt and Mazraoui are currently at Carrington, undertaking the medicals, which they're expected to sign later on today. Now, you was actually saying last week you wanted positive news to start the week off, so I expect you to get a good night's sleep tonight.
I'll get a good night's sleep. What a way to start the week. 2 signings today, 1 player being sold to West Ham in Wan-Bissaka, and to cap it all off, I wake up and Bruno Fernandes extended contract being sorted out. Great start to the week. Let's hope there's some more. It's positive Monday. That's how I'm looking at all this.
Positive Monday. What do you actually think of De Ligt and Mazraoui yourself as players?
As players, I think they're fine. I think when you look at Mazraoui, he's there. He's an attacking full-back, something what Wan-Bissaka seems to lack. Great at tackling, but going forward, crossing the ball, I think Mazraoui has got that, and going into a United new formation, because I see it as a new formation, wing-backs, he fits the bill. De Ligt, I think he's got the experience. He's been around some solid clubs he's been to, and I think he's going to bring some experience to this club. It's his birthday today. He's 25, so I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, it's Mazza from now on instead of Mazraoui.
Is it Mazza?
Yeah, can we just keep it to Mazza? A lot easier instead of Mazraoui.
Sweet, it's Mazza.
Right, okay. Well, you're talking about De Ligt, and he's been at Juventus. Well, obviously Ajax, played under Erik and Mazraoui as well. He's gone over to Juventus, played with the likes of Chiellini, Bonucci over there. That would have done him the world of good. Gone to Bayern Munich. Did have injury concerns last summer. A lot of people out there have mentioned his injuries. But you'd expect in a medical today at Manchester United, they'll put any concerns to bed, surely?
Yeah, they'll put all the concerns to bed. I don't think there's any concerns. I think people out there are over-egging his injuries and that. There's no problem today. He'll sign today. I like his experience, and I think he'll be a great asset to Manchester United. I think if you look at him, 25 today, going forward, he's there for the long term. Obviously, Euro will be his partner, out injured at the moment, but looking forward to this.
I love how you say Euro as well. Euro, Lenny Euro.
Yeah, well, it's just the way I am.
Yeah.
I'll get it right one day.
No, I want you to keep to it, to be honest with you. Right. I think it adds a little bit of flavour, something different as well to the actual channel as well. And yeah, I just want to know your thoughts and opinions, and I can see you all getting your opinions in the chat on De Ligt and Mazraoui as well. What do you feel about Wan-Bissaka? He's having a medical today at West Ham as well in a £15 million move. You sorry to see him go, or was it the right time for him to leave?
No, I'm sorry to see him go from his defensive point, but I have to look what's coming in, and what's coming in is an attacking fullback, and that's what we need. The style, the tactics are going to change. He obviously isn't improving in that forward area, Wan-Bissaka, and it's a good deal. We finally got it. A year on his contract left. He could have walked out, but he's going now. He's having his medical. That should be sorted. And the deal really was only held up because he wanted a payoff, compo. That's been sorted. 15 million. Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with that. It's, you know, what you have to look at is United have got a sale in at last. It's been a long time coming. Greenwood was the last one, and that just seems long ago.
Yeah, Bangkok Doug says everything's taking shape now. A CDM and the top 4, it should be easy.
Yeah, things are taking shape. We just need a midfield player. I've always said it, and lots of other people have said it, that midfield needs an injection of a new face, new pace, someone who's going to get stuck right in there. So one more midfield player this week, I'm over the moon.
I've seen reports linking us again with Frankie de Jong. I think that's just going to continue every transfer window, but I just think that's definitely off the cards with Frankie de Jong. Amrabat, do you still think he's in discussions? Do you think we'll see him come back to Manchester United, or do you think there's more priority targets ahead of him?
I think Amrabat is just there waiting in the wings to see if any deal gets done, if a deal gets done for a new centre of midfield, a midfield player, then I think he's just hanging on in there. I think United have to go for a player who can get stuck in, who's got the engine and everything. Someone new to inject a bit of pace into that midfield. Amrabat, he'll only come in if we fail. That's how I see it. And to be honest, they might not even do that deal. They might just be content going forward with Collier. They brought Collier into that Charity Shield. I think he will be in the squad right through the season, and he's there to get stuck in to that first 11 side. So there's opportunities for young players, and Collier could be earmarked for it.
Yeah, because if you're looking at last season, currently how the squad stands now, we are lighter in that midfield area without Amrabat being in there. So if we do get just one midfielder in, it's like a like-for-like replacement, and we do need bodies in there, don't we? Because it's going to be a tough old Premier League campaign, and especially if we want to go far in the domestic cup competitions and the Europa League as well.
I agree with you. If we bring a midfield player in, it's like for like, but you have to look at what United... what their method is. Their method is to bring youngsters through, and it seems to be like the machine. It's just going and going now. These youngsters are getting the opportunities, and with Collier being in that Charity Shield team on Saturday, I think they might have him earmarked for a place in this squad and possibly starting at some point. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of people agreeing with you in the chat as well. Steve Higgs, Ansel and others as well are mentioning Collier that he didn't really get the praise he maybe deserved in that Community Shield game as well.
No, I looked round through the media and that. His name was barely mentioned. Barely mentioned. I thought he had a solid game. He's been in the pre-season. He's there. He's ready to come through. If you go back to what the pre-season brought last year, Mainu obviously got injured, but he was ready to come in. Collier looks the same here. I think he's had ample opportunities in the pre-season. Erik ten Hag trusts him. He's put him in there, and he looks a solid player. Whether he'll be able to develop, then he has to be in that squad, and he has to be given the opportunities. And that's the thing with Collier and other youngsters coming through. We have to see him given the opportunities.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the match reaction after the game on Saturday, that these youngsters that we've got here, the likes of Ahmad, Hoyland, Garnacho, Mainu, and you can add probably Collier to that list as well, Lenny Yoro, who we've just signed. They look like they can take the weight of that shirt, the badge, the expectations, and all the noise what surrounds the club outside.
Yeah, I think if you look round at what's been going on with these young players over the last couple of years, I think the coaching staff have sort of put it into him. Hey, you can do this. Just get there, have the right mindset. And a lot of these youngsters, what have come through over the last 2 years, and you have to remember, Erik ten Hag set out the coaching, how it should be done, and changed a lot of things. Now things are being changed again. An improvement into what's going on to the coaching side of it, right through the club. And these kids are coming through with the right mindset. And that's what you want from these youngsters. We've seen youngsters come through. Next thing you know, it's bright lights, and then they just fade away. Many, many youngsters over the last 3 or 4 years have come in, bang, and then disappeared.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like the four I mentioned. Obviously, there's still a bit of time to go with Collier to judge how he'll actually handle the shirt going forward. But it does seem like he's got that edge, that bite to him that we need. But the most important thing is them youngsters look like they have quality as well on the pitch where we need to see it as well, and where you can think to yourself, they can take Manchester United forward in the next 5-6 years. I think
the difference here is you have a group of youngsters all coming through together who have played together. And if you go back to the last big group of players what come through, the 92 lot, they all came together, played together, they all understood each other. These young players what are here now, all being given the opportunity, have worked together, played together, and they've all got the hungry mentality. So I think it's all good that they're coming through right now together. Whereas sometimes when you've seen youngsters come through, they've come through on their own. They've got no help through the mentor, through the group thing. System. Yeah, through the academy system. You need your pals around you. You need to be able to trust players around you. And so at the end of the day, some players have sort of come in and like, it's hit them and they've not been able to carry on. Whereas the fight's there when you've got a group of young players who are determined, and that's what you see now.
Zayn Miasa, cheers for your super chat. He says, we already have our first cup, Tony. Come on, you Gooners. I didn't know you got a trophy for finishing second place, but
yeah, well,
I won a trophy in pre-season, I don't know.
The only trophy what matters to everyone is winning that league. So let's see what happens there.
Yeah, a lot of positivity around the players that we've just mentioned, in particular the young ones. But going back onto De Ligt, the thing for me is over the last season and previous seasons, a lot's been mentioned from us and people out there about leadership in this team. I do actually think De Ligt brings that. Do you see it the same?
Yeah, I think he brings the experience, even though he's only 25 today. I
wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah, and I think that the players he's played with, he's also knows Ten Hag. Ten Hag knows him. So I think there's like a little partnership going there. And I think he'll be solid to sign for Juventus, to sign for Bayern Munich. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, there's things what have gone wrong. Maybe tactics have changed at Bayern Munich since they've signed him. New manager has come in, wants a new setup, coming to Manchester United, signing a long-term contract. That stability, and he's there. And I like what I see with De Ligt. I think he's got the experience and the mentality to be a really good centre-half and take Manchester United forward.
He does seem a character, a big, strong presence as well.
Yes.
And what I've read up about him over the last couple of years, someone who's not going to be afraid to say something as well in the dressing room, stand up and be counted. And we'll probably point the fingers if other players in the matches aren't performing to the standards that the manager wants.
Yeah, well, this player's coming in and he's not afraid to say things. And what you seem to have happened over the last 10 years at Manchester United, you seem to have different camps inside the dressing room. Yeah. A player like De Ligt, I don't think he'll take that too kindly. You're all one, you're all fighting together, and hopefully Bruno signing that extended contract as captain can bring the group together. There is a lot of people, what we call deadwood, have left. There's still one or two in the squad, in and around, there to be moved out. And I think Bruno, leading as captain, will, with the help of De Ligt and other players who are strong characters, get this team, get this squad and get this club back where it belongs.
Yeah, you're looking at the back four. Delot, De Ligt, Martinez, Luke Shaw when available and when fit. Is that strong enough going into a Premier League campaign?
No, it's not strong enough. It'll get better. I just look around there and I think at the moment, lots of teams out there aren't really, how can I say it, improving the squads. I think this is a decent squad.
Yeah, no, I do think it's a decent squad as well. And, you're looking at that left-back area with Luke Shaw. He's obviously didn't play in the Community Shield, so he's still working his way up to fitness. But going into the Premier League campaign as well, it leaves us a little bit short, I think, in that left-back position. So do you think maybe United might look to maybe do any loan deals like we sort of did with Reguilon last season?
You have to get a left-back in. Yeah. I'm telling you now, Luke Shaw, not match fit yet. He's not injured, by the way, all the reports. Ten Hag did say on Friday there's a question mark over him. What he means by that is his fitness. He only come back a week ago. He's not ready for the match. So at the end of the day, all I see is Luke Shaw there, who could break down at any moment, and we haven't got a left back. We have to get one in, a decent player in on loan. That's the minimum what's required.
Do you think it'd be too much to put Harry Amas into the first team squad, so when Luke Shaw's not available, or we need to give him a rest like we do with all the players throughout the season, it'd be a bit too much for him to come in?
I think when you look at Amas, decent left back.
Still very young,
but it's going to be tough to expect him to play right through the season because Luke Shaw could get an injury and be out for months. We've seen it before. We need somebody in there. Yes, he's a young lad. He's got other young teammates in there, but this is a left back. I'm telling you, this could cause us trouble if it's not sorted out. So we've got a week to go. So maybe next Monday, we might have a new left back in.
Do you think they're also planning, though, if there is any injuries or players need rotating at left back, they're thinking of Delot to go in at left back, even Mazraoui as well, who can play left back. So in their minds going forward, they've got that covered for Luke Shaw.
I think there's options on tactically how they play. Yes, there's players to cover, but tactically we could put a centre-half there. It's just depends how they set up. But it is short. It is a worry, like the midfield. I'd like one midfielder in there and one left back in there. And I think we could be sitting pretty with everything what's been going on. I think United at the moment, the mood in the camp and everything, and with the fans, is positive. Yes, we'd love a stronger squad, but that is not going to happen. What we've got is a team there what's being built around these youngsters and bringing in young players like De Ligt, like Yoro, excellent for the future, but they want it now, and that's what you want to hear.
Great competition for places as well at that centre-back place. Now you've got obviously Yoro, who's injured, but I think De Ligt as well is a good signing for Yoro in many ways, because he's only a young lad, Yoro, untested really outside of the French league. So it gives him a little bit of time as well to bed in at Manchester United, to come in for, let's say, 1 or 2 games, then sit it out for, let's say, 2 or 3 matches as well, while they actually get him used to the Premier League.
I think if you look round and you look at Martinez there, and you look at De Ligt and you look at Yoro, once them 3 are there, that competition will be fierce, and that's what you want. You want warriors. De Ligt knows what to do. Big, strong lad. Yoro, he's got time to improve, but still good enough to get in that side at this moment. And I like all 3 of them, and I think you don't win anything without a back 4, without a good, solid defence, and it's shaping up well.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that they can do it. It's all on paper at the moment.
Yeah.
You don't win anything on paper, as we all know, but it looks strong. And when you've got it strong at the back, you've got a goalkeeper there what will have more confidence than what he's had with what's been in front of him.
At the moment, though, on paper, as you say, is there too much competition for that centre-back place when you've got the likes of Maguire and Lindelof still there? Do you think there'll be conversations now going forward to see if they can maybe move on one of them 2?
I think maybe Lindelof would be the one earmarked out, which will leave Maguire and Johnny Evans there. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. I don't see anything wrong with it. Lindelof, to me now, time's up. The signals are out there. Stories are out there. Reports that he's going to be sold. So off he goes. He's been a good servant for Man United. I've always thought Lindelof was a solid player. Not a great player, but he'd done his job.
Yeah, also good news as well with the captain, Bruno Fernandes, looking to extend his contract as well. Are you happy with that? You did mention at the start of the summer, all that noise of Bruno looking to go to Saudi, etc. You did say at the time it was about extending a new contract.
I always said that. It didn't seem any other noise out there to me was a load of rubbish. It was all about a contract. Clearly, Bruno wanted to extend it. People out there sending out stories that he's going to Saudi or anything like that. Not a chance. Not a chance. And here we are now, extended contract. Bruno, the captain. It's all good news in that dressing room, and it'll be good news. What I like about Bruno, okay, he puts the effort in. And obviously, with the new coaches coming in and everything, what you want to see, and I think Bruno's been given a word in his ear as if to say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to play. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want the team to do. And I think him signing that extension, he can clearly see, and I think he can feel the enthusiasm and the change what's coming around inside United, not just the dressing room. And I think he's quite happy to be here because it's an exciting future.
We've not seen it since Bruno signed for United, but with Mason Mount getting through pre-season up to now, fully fit, do you think we'll actually start to see more rotation with Bruno Fernandes come this season in different cup competitions, etc., and the league maybe?
That all just depends on injuries. But Mason Mount, another one who's gone unsung this summer, his fitness, the way he's performing, is there, he wants it. He's gone unsung as well. I think he might challenge somewhere in that midfield. I'm just not clear, and I don't think anyone really is clear on where Mason Mount is going to play. Bruno might get the rest. That might be the thing. But I don't think Mason Mount is going to sit there and just accept being on the bench and wait to play just so Bruno can have a rest. I don't see that. I think Mason Mount was signed. He was signed last year to come on and start in that first 11. And as we say, it's not really, we've not had people brought into the midfield. So the competition is still the same. So Mason Mount will not be happy being on the bench. And quite rightly so. He was signed to play in there, and I think he will be in there.
Yeah, it's all up to him as well to do the hard work in training and show us and prove to the manager when he does get game time that he should be in the starting 11 the following week. But for me on the right-hand side, Anthony and Ahmad, I think Anthony's got a monumental task to start in this team, especially for the first 4 or 5 games.
Anthony himself came out last week. He knows what's wrong. He highlighted what was wrong on and off the field. He's said he's going to improve. He's looking at things, the way to change and improve. He knows he's got a battle on his hand. And Ahmad, he's there. It's as simple as that. Ahmad is on the right. Anthony is on the bench. And what you want from Anthony, what you want from any Manchester United player, on the bench, waiting, keeping fit, eager, and then when that chance comes, do it. Problem is, we've not seen that in the past. With Anthony, he has to change. He knows that. He's saying he's changed.
The thing is, as well, with this summer transfer window and the next summer transfer window, it's all about getting quality into the team where you've got people, well, the players, challenging for them places week on week, because in the recent years, really, we've had at least 4 or 5 positions where a player can chuck in an absolute dud performance, but they know they're starting the week after. And that doesn't raise the mentality, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Into a winning mentality.
Yeah, people have just shirked the job, shirked their responsibilities because they know that they can just play because other people just ain't good enough. And the problems in and around United have caused lots of that on the pitch. I look at it now, that's all changed. The mentality's changed. They're not going to accept anyone playing half-hearted. It is just not going to happen. So the challenge is on. You can see it in the faces. You can see it on the pitch. I've seen it there this summer, whether it was like in Norway or whether it was over in America. The attitude's changed. Everyone behind the scenes has changed. So there's no shirking here. It's fighting for, everyone's fighting for a place. And I think the light is shining in Anthony's head. He's just one player. There are many, many others out there, right, who now have to pull the pants up and get on with it and do the job, or just sling it.
Just sling it?
No, that's it. Sling it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's the attitude, okay, from Ineos to Jim Ratcliffe, from Erik ten Hag, from Van Nistelrooy, from Hack, from them all. If you're not putting it in, sling it.
It's amazing what happens as well when you get proper football people inside the club making football decisions as well. And we've seen that with the business getting done.
Yeah, well, this is what I look about Bruno. He can see all around him. He can see the change. He knows what's coming. He's being told on a daily basis. And it does make a change. I'm positive. Everyone, it's Monday and I'm positive. I can't believe it, but here we are. You know, everyone should be positive. Yes, 1 or 2 people might be saying, oh, well, we need this player. I might be saying it myself. But I'm still positive that this squad will go out there and perform. And that's what you want to see. I want a smile back on my face. I want a smile back on your faces. I want to be entertained. We might not win a trophy this year, but I want to be entertained and I want to be able to challenge. That's what I want. That's the minimum I want this year.
Yeah, definitely a progression on the playing style.
Yeah, we have to see that. And I think...
Have you seen bits of that, though,
yes,
over the pre-season? Because I have,
yeah, I've seen bits of that, the way they're set up and what it is, how they're all looking for the ball, whereas some players would be shy and not really run around and ask for the ball. Some people were sort of dodging it. That's changed now. People ain't going to get away with hiding on the pitch. You hide on the pitch, you're off. And it's down to Erik ten Hag to use them substitutes and get the game flowing and do it at the right time. Use the players correctly. But if you don't, as a player, put that effort in, then I expect this manager to haul them off and not be seen for a long time.
I thought Rashford took quite a lot of pelters after that Community Shield game against City. What's your overall thoughts on him? Because obviously he missed 2 sitters, let's face it. He should be at least making the keeper work. And he didn't find the back of the net with either of them. So is he going to start for you? Give him another 4 or 5 games to start, see if he can improve on last season?
Yeah, listen, Erik ten Hag might choose him to start because he might be fitter than Garnacho. That's the reason why he might start. Yes, he missed a couple of shots. That happens. We know that. What you hope, and this is what we all hope, is that every player, including Rashford, gets fit, gets on there and improves. That's what we want. And Rashford is under big, massive pressure. Didn't do himself any favours missing them 2 chances. But, hey, it happens. And I'm not going in on him. The kid was working like they were all working. They made sure that they didn't get injured, and that's one of the things they have to do. So you can't go in on Rashford. You can't go in on any player.
Not in pre-season.
Not in pre-season. What you hope for, and you cross your fingers, is that they perform. They've seen, the coaches have seen what's happened. Little things they need to adjust in certain players, and especially Rashford. Rashford needs to be coached. He needs to be talked to, and he needs to be pushed.
But I've seen positive play, though, from all the forwards, and maybe
all of them.
Nistelrooy and Hacker have had a big impact on that and getting that started onto the football pitch. But you've got to look at Rashford. It's positive that he was in them positions anyway. So if players keep getting into them positions, that's only going to make them better and get used to finishing chances as well. You know, build the confidence.
Well, what was positive with the forwards and what you might see a lot going forward is the change in formation and the style, the way they go forward. How it's used, how Rashford's used, how's Ahmad or Anthony on the wing used, Garnacho's used, how Bruno is set up. The forward line might be completely different than what we all think. We've got Xerxes to come in. So it's all positive Monday, looking forward to Friday night's game at Old Trafford here against Fulham. All positive.
Yeah, all positive. Just like to wish De Ligt a happy birthday, 25 today. Hopefully that news comes out later today, as expected, that both De Ligt and Mazraoui signed for Manchester United. Get involved in the chat. It's been popping off today with your own opinions on everything that we've discussed. If you want to continue it, get involved in the comment section below. Smash a like as well to support the channel, and we'll be back later on with a video with my dad, Tony, and Webby discussing today's news. So keep a lookout for that and get that notification on. See you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Send that one off.